What makes your heart sing? Coaching my clients, discovering their passions, guiding them on the path to singing with their hearts, that makes my heart sing. Sharing with others the lessons I've learned in my many change journeys through life, like I'm here sharing with you, that makes my heart sing. I was born December 24th, 1949. Growing up, I remember hula hoops, Elvis Presley, and freedom marches. At 17, I left my all-white suburban community to become a freshman at Syracuse University, a multiracial, multi-ethnic, international campus. At the time, I was an introvert and an Eagle Scout, and I had promised myself that in college, I would overcome my introversion. So I did what any good Eagle Scout would do. I joined a fraternity, Alpha Phi Omega, the National Service Fraternity. When our advisor asked for volunteers to help start a scout troop on the nearby Onondaga Reservation, my hand shot up. I don't remember what I expected to find that first visit. I do remember I was surprised by the poverty. Homes with cardboard replacing broken window panes, tarps on roofs, tar paper siding. I remember the warmth of the welcome. Vern, who wanted to bring scouting to the reservation, lived in a mobile home with his wife and children. Our conversation lasted hours, fueled by a bottomless coffee pot and freshly baked cake. That day, I learned that the Onondaga are one of 6 nations in the League of the Iroquois, and that many of our founding fathers, including Jefferson and Franklin, held the Iroquois and their system of government in high regard. I remember the sun was setting when I stepped back outside. What I didn't know is that I had taken the first step on a change journey that I'm still on today. At the time, the university mascot was represented by a caricature of a savage warrior and portrayed at athletic events by a Caucasian fraternity brother dressed up and running around like a, quote, wild Indian. I quickly realized that this mascot was racist and xenophobic, and I tried to get the university to change it. I failed. But the fire of change was lit in my heart and my gut, where it still burns today. I've been through many personal transformations in my life, from introverted college freshman to outspoken Native American rights activist, from a graduate student in cultural anthropology to an Air Force drill sergeant, and from a married, closeted man hiding from my own sexuality to a proud, out gay man and gay rights activist. The biggest change in my life began with an email. It read, I'm a high school sophomore studying photography outside of Boston, Massachusetts. Our assignment is to write the biography of our favorite photographer. I Googled gay photographers, and you're my favorite. May I interview you? Ego said yes. When we got on the phone, it was clear that Brandon was well prepared. His questions were thoughtful and thought-provoking. One turned my world around. How did you come to your photography, he asked. I explained that David, my first partner, was an artist, and he had taught me to see the world through an artist's eyes. I then turned the question back to Brandon. He said, it's a way to see a world outside the abuse I experience at home every day and the assaults I suffer at school on a regular basis. Ego had said yes to the interview, but at the end, it was my heart that spoke. I couldn't just say, I hope you get a good grade, goodbye. So I offered to stay in touch. And we did. We did that summer when his mother threw him out for the first time. And his junior year, when she asked me to assist him in preparing for his college entrance exams. We did his senior year when his mother asked me to help Brandon with his college and scholarship applications and to do campus visits with him. As his mother moved in and out of Brandon's life, I was there. Then came the phone call. Brandon's mother had just given him 3 hours to get out of the house. That day, it was my heart and my gut that spoke. I wasn't about to abandon this 18-year-old whose mother no longer wanted a gay son in her life. I told him to get his birth certificate, his social security card, his medications, his camera, his cell phone, his computer, and I would find him a safe place to live. When Brandon graduated high school, he moved to New Jersey and moved in with me. When I adopted him, Massachusetts issued a new birth certificate. It lists one parent. I am Brandon's father. Brandon is my son. It's not only personal transformations I've been through. I've guided high school students as they prepare for and enter college, college graduates seeking careers with purpose, mid-career professionals who are no longer finding meaning in their work, and retirees seeking new forms of fulfillment. And I've guided organizations from startups to global corporations on their change journeys. And through all of this, I've learned some important lessons I want to share with you. First, all change is personal. Organizations don't change. Society doesn't change. People change. And when we do, we change our organizations. We change our society. Psychologist Jonathan Haidt said, our mind is a story processor, not a logic processor. I've learned that while most people say they're not very good storytellers, the truth is we all are. You know those gremlins that grab you from behind or jump out in front of you when you're about to make a change? The ones that tell you, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy. I'm afraid of failure. I'm afraid of success. Our gremlins are telling us stories, and we believe them. We take them as truth. We treat them as fact. They're not. Moving through change means calling out our gremlins and turning them into gurus. In The Hero with 1,000 Faces, Joseph Campbell wrote that while we approach each change in our life as if it's unique and unpredictable, it isn't. In fact, there's only one journey through change, and we take it over and over and over again. And it's called the hero's journey. And the more you know about the hero's journey, the more you learn it, the more you intentionally practice it, the more successful you'll be with your changes in your life. So I invite you to think about a change journey that you're on as I tell you the story of Marilyn, one of my clients. Marilyn had a very successful business. She was working 7 days a week, and she had no idea how to scale it further. Marilyn's a single parent, and so she was also unhappy with the parenting she was able to provide given her work schedule. When we met, Marilyn was ready to call out her gremlins and turn them into gurus. In her TED Talk on story, Lori Gottlieb tells us that the way we narrate our stories shapes our life. If we can change our story, we can change our life. So I invite you to begin where Marilyn and I began, by creating your change story. But don't make this a story about the future. Make this a story from the future. Stories from the future come from our head, our heart, our gut. They engage our emotions. So picture yourself there. Feel yourself there. Embody your story. You can write your story in whatever language comes naturally to you. It might be words, but it might be song or dance or music or art. Don't be afraid to write your story. You're the author. You can always edit it. Marilyn's story began, I feel free and like I'm the captain of my own ship. I'm confident of my success and I feel full of possibility. I'm proud of what I've achieved. It's uniquely me. My partner and my daughter are here celebrating with me. How does your story from the future begin? Once you have your story, it's time to prepare and plan for the journey. What gremlins are you going to have to turn into gurus? When and how are you going to do that? What tough decisions are you going to have to make along the way? Resilience researcher Dr. Linda Hoops tells us that every change drains energy, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. How are you going to ensure that you have the reserves of energy that you need for your change journey? Marilyn realized that the first thing she had to do on her journey was stop working 24/7 to free space to rethink her business. So together, we tackled her control gremlin and turned it into a leadership guru. Marilyn began to hold her people more accountable, began to expect self-management of them. She even let go of social media and turned it over to one of her staff. Here are some of the other lessons Marilyn learned along the way. When you start something new, you have to let go of something old. It may be things you're doing, how you're thinking, how you're showing up. It may be possessions in your life, or it may even be people. You have to learn to say no to those things that are going to pull you from your journey, and say no with respect and grace. You have to celebrate along the way. Celebrate your achievements, but also celebrate your mistakes. Some celebrations can be small and private. Others are about bringing out the band and the confetti. And always keep your eye on the destination, as well as what's going on around you. Several months into her journey, Marilyn had found a way to change her business, to create a new strategy, a new structure, a way that would allow her to grow her business, to be more successful while working less. In fact, she had made such progress that Marilyn took a month off. She and her daughter spent a month in Europe, and Marilyn spent that month offline. A year after Marilyn began her hero's journey, she relaunched her business, and today she's living her new reality. This is what I want for you. Know what makes your heart sing. Create your story from the future. Prepare, plan, and live into it. Like me, like Brandon, like Marilyn, you're the author of your story. You're the hero of your journeys. You have the power to turn your gremlins into gurus and live into the future you want. This isn't only my journey or Brandon's or Marilyn's. It's yours. It's your children's. It's your families. It's your colleagues. It's your communities. So I invite you to learn the hero's journey, to live it, and to teach it to others. What makes your heart sing? I invite you to sing along.